You can tell me he's on a perfect loop if you end up exactly the same spot in 3 dimensions that you started. As you start your loop, you disturb the airflow because you're pulling about 3.5 Gs. When you come around, if you hit that bump, you know that you ended up exactly where you started.
Lots of folks look for a new pastime when they retire. For some folks, it's golf. For some, it's pickleball. David Ross went in a slightly different direction.
I'm David Ross. We're at the Kings Hilton Airport. I call it CIA, Canning International Airport. Well, I retired from my main job in 2018. I was a cardiac surgeon, one of the few in Canada that did adults and children, but my main gig was children. We operate on newborns and prematures. The smallest, we routinely operate on 500 grams. My previous job, you had to master a skill, and it also was quite a bit of stress. Flying sort of replaces that a bit. I bought myself a 1-hour flight in a P-51 Mustang as a retirement gift. And a friend of mine who knows a bit more about this than me said, "You're not going to enjoy it because you're going to be doing loops and rolls in a Mustang and you're not used to it." So he suggested I contact Patty Wagstaff, who has an aerobatic and upset recovery school in Florida, for a couple of hours of training. I was terrified, but I did enjoy it a bit. So I started going back on an annual basis and got more and more into aerobatics. I'm not competitive. I go really high and I do pretty simple stuff by myself. With an instructor, I'll go really high and we'll do much more complicated stuff. I do loops and I do rolls and wing overs, but it's just learning to master something. You know, it's perfectly safe if you're very careful and you pay attention to details. It's totally intolerant if you're not. And learning to do a perfect loop is really, is kind of a challenge.
Some of the skills that you developed operating on those little hearts came in handy when you were building this aircraft.
I did a lot with my hands. So there's 15,000 rivets in this plane. Some are quite easy to put in, some are very difficult and inaccessible. Some of those skills about knowing where your hands were when you can't see them and in difficult spots really came in helpful. We can do one-handed knots in surgery, so it's even got a few surgical knots hidden here and there.
What is a great day of flying for you now?
It's always different. The weather's different, the conditions are different. We've got a beautiful day today. You see cool, really cool, neat things. What I found when I was working, the good thing about flying was you can't think of anything else. It doesn't matter what's going on in your day. When you're taking off landing or maneuvering or doing aerobatics, you can't think of anything else. And that's a really nice distraction.